Good afternoon, everyone. Let's see. So this week I was pretty much not able to trade a lot. So I am going to practice some of the small cap trading. For those of you who are new to the channel, so this is Apex Scanner. So it has a neat feature called as the Apex Replay. So this is for someone who wants to practice small cap trading. And before you want to, dive headfirst with real money, you might want to get some practice. So there's two ways to get practice, right? So one is you have your simulator where you trade live with the market, where pretty much you log in every day. Pre-market, some people start trading 4 in the morning. Some people, for the most people, it's 7 a.m. in the morning when they start trading, and they'll trade till about 10, or the first market open, and some people till 12. And then you have the after hour session from 4 p.m. onwards till 6 or 7 when the market is active. So that's all about the momentum trading in the small caps and the windows where most people like to trade. But what if, let's say, you're working and have a full-time job and you need to leave early, and then you don't really get to catch the full market hours on the weekdays to train, but you're interested in small cap trading. So the Apex Replay is a tool specifically for those people. It is also for people who, let's say, have traded the morning, made some mistakes, had some losses. Now, if you want to go relive and see what mistakes you made, and if you have made the same mistakes again, so this is a tool which is super helpful for those guys as well. So how this tool works is it gives you the past 10 days worth of trades, and it is tick by tick, exactly in the market conditions that the market was on that particular day at that particular time. So without much further ado, let me kind of take you in. Let's say we want to go on Thursday, the July 30th, and we want to start the session at 6:55 in the morning. So you have these neat little buttons that you can click, and it'll start the session from there. I tend to start around 6:50, 6:45ish, so I'm just setting the seek bar to that 6:50 a.m. in the morning, and let me click on Start Replay. So when you click on Start Replay, it opens like a full desk. So this whole page is, we call it a workbook or a desk. So what it does is it's a collection of different panels. So all of these panels are individual scanners that you see on the left side. All the scanners that are available can be dropped down from here. And then you have the charts in the center. And then you have your simulator related panels over here on the right side, which would be the order panel, the time and sales, as well as the positions and the P&L. Now, all these panels are available over here, and you could bring them up by clicking and adding those there. Now, let's see. In terms of the market, you also have this button, which is an auto follow. So what it does is it brings up on the screen the stock which is the most active right now. Now, how I trade and how this tool, is most effective is during the pre-market hours, you have the after hours gainers. So this tells you what are the highest top gainers in the pre-market. And then you have your apex acceleration and you have your apex attention. Now, the apex acceleration is basically telling you what stocks are on the move, like what stocks have been moving. Right now, you will see it has something called a streak. A streak is the number which is in orange. So the more a stock goes up, as it keeps going up without coming back down, it adds to the streak. So this is a sign that a stock is continuously gaining in price or has an upward momentum. And in the apex attention, you have something called as trades per second. So this gauges the number of traders who are interested or are actively trading the stock. So you should ideally not take a trade unless for a fact that a lot of traders are looking at trading a particular stock. So right now, I would say, and these trades numbers, as they go higher, you will notice, that the color changes. So it is to basically get your attention to it. You also have audio alerts that you can turn on. I like to keep mine off because it's less distraction for me. Let's see. So the time right now, on this replay day is 6:46 a.m. And this is on the Thursday, July 30th. And this is exactly how the market was on that particular day. And you have the stock info panel. It gives you how many shares are traded for the stock, what the float of this particular ticker is, and you also have the borrow rate. This, if you hover over this, it'll tell you the borrow rate has actually gone from 339% to 342% over the past 3 days. So as you know, for stocks where borrowing is supported, so you will have that information, and then number of shares that are available to be borrowed is shown here. So in the past 3 days, you had about 500,000 shares that were available to borrow, but right now only 100,000 shares are left to borrow. So you can understand that a lot of shorts have taken position on the stock. So if it manages to go higher, you will definitely see a squeeze. Now, in terms of how you can access this, so this is available as a part of the first 30-day free trial. So this is the Apex scanner. So if you look at the plans, you have different types of plans. You have your simulator. You can buy your simulator alone. You get your charts and you get your order book. You get your top gainers. You get your top losers. You get your trading journal, which is a regular journal that captures your live simulator trades, your live replay trades. And also you can upload your trades from the broker. And then you have your scanner. Scanner has all those panels with the acceleration, attention, reversals, halts, and the top losers, the top gainers, the after hours gainers, the pre-market gainers. All those panels are within the scanners. And for the pro, this is the plan which I recommend. This includes all of the three, which is the scanner, the simulator, and the journal. And then you have the Pro Plus, which includes all of this. Plus, you can also have the replay functionality that allows you to practice over the weekend, in the evenings, at night, anytime. For people who have regular jobs during the weekdays who want to get into small cap trading, this would be an ideal platform where you can actually practice and see if you're profitable before you can start putting in your real money. And get a feel for how the market works, how things move, see if you guys are actually profitable. So the cool thing is, so once you take a trade over here, you can actually go to the journal. Like, for example, let me take a trade. I'll show you how quickly it records. There's not really anything happening in the market. So right now, I don't really like what Stack is doing. But just for the sake of it, let me kind of get into a position here. So you notice I have taken a position, so you will see my position here. And then I can add to the position. So I have 1,500 shares at 285. So let the stock move a little. Maybe at 290, I'll try to sell them. Or if it breaks below 280, I'll bail and I'll get out of the trade. But the whole idea is I'm trying to show you, once I exit the trade, that all the trades are captured. And you can get the metrics out of it. So it gives you an idea if you're profitable and if this is really something you want to be doing, right? So, okay, let me turn this off. The auto follow is off. So right now it is 288. My goal is to sell this around 290. So as soon as it hits around 290, I'd be willing to sell it. Okay. So this is a new 5-minute candle. So let's see where it closes. Ideally, I don't want to be holding into a brand new 5-minute candle. I'll also be uploading videos in terms of the strategy of how to trade the small caps. But I do believe that there are a lot of other channels which do it already. So I want to, give people the tools that are necessary to, help them practice and see if small cap momentum trading is something they should be doing. Because when you trade with a simulator with the live market hours, it is not really something which allows you to go back and practice multiple times. So it's one time and done. So with this replay, you can do it multiple times. You know what? This stock is pretty much dead. Nothing seems to be happening. So I'm going to sell it for a loss. So you can see I've locked in a loss of $42. So I bought about these shares and I sold all of them at a price value of $282. Now I'm selling these and buying these using hotkeys. So I'll cover hotkeys just in a bit. You can also buy them through this widget. You have these shortcut keys and you can buy, sell, you can flatten. So flatten, halve, and flatten all will only work during the market hours, right? And here you have your simulator account for the replay. And the amount that I've lost is $42 of simulated money. Now let's go to the journal and see what it shows. So if I open the journal, so here at the top, you have to select whether it's simulator, it's real money, or replay. When I click on replay, you will see that, for this particular day, which was so this was being traded in July, right? So my replay was in July. So this on the 30th of July is the market conditions is what I'm trading in the replay, and I lost $42. So I click on this, and you will see that stack was the stock I was trading, and you can see that my trading was in the early market hours, and you will see this was my entry over here. I bought twice over here, and then I sold it on the chart. So since this is a replay, you will see the actual direction the chart took over the period of the day. But this is what I was seeing on the chart during the replay time, and I had purchased 1,500 shares of it, and I sold them for a loss of about $42. Now these are the different metrics that you get. So since I had traded just one stock over a period of, let's say, 2 minutes, it shows me how much what my realized P&L was, which was minus $42. It shows me what my total volume of the buy and sell was, how many cents I gained or lost per share. So you can see I lost about 2.6 cents per share. And in terms of percentages, how much did I lose? It was about 0.9%. Now it also gives you a breakdown of volume allocation, the trade allocation. So it'll actually get better if I trade other stocks as well. For example, NUWE is moving. There isn't really anything moving in the stock market. So what I could do is I could use the seek function over here and jump to, let's say, 7. Let's jump to 7.3. Let's see if something is actually moving, 3 minutes past 7. So we see that NUWE has started to move a little. I also see MGRX is on the move, but then it made a decent move. I don't say a big move. Yeah, it's a big move. It was close to about 70%, and then it has pulled back pretty much and gave back the whole move. NUWE, so like I said, as the volume picks up, as the number of trades pick up, you will see the trades per second go up. And this is the time when I would be interested in taking a trade on it, right? So right now I'm looking to see if, so the ideal place to get in on this would be once it crosses 465, but I would also be interested in taking a trade in the low 410s. Looks like it is holding, so I might get in over here. I'm in at 428, and it's struggling a little too much. Okay. So it's still struggling a little. So the problem I see over here is this is the next new 1 minute candle, and it should break 435, and then I'd be safe. It did not, and it is a little away from the 9 EMA. So in terms of the daily charts, so we see, let me get rid of the auto over here. We see the next pivot is about 5, and you can see this has not reached 5, so we have a pretty good chance that it breaks 5. So let's be patient. So this 5-minute candle is coming to a close in about 30 seconds. So let's give it a second. So we have our position. Our stop loss would be anything below 420 if this candle closes above it. And let's wait. Let's be patient. Okay, you know what? I'm not too confident about this. I'm going to get out of this position for a 1 cent profit. I want to see where the next 5-minute candle goes, because I believe it's going to dip to 420, and that might be a good entry point. I want to see the high of this candle, so I have this widget over here in the drawings, and I will draw the top. So the high of this is 436, and I want it to break 436 and hold for me to enter. Or I want it to break below 425, and I'll take a position there. The good thing is it is holding. It is holding and it's not breaking down. And okay, so let's see. I'm looking for a sudden flush I can get into, or I'm looking to see if it can break 436 and hold. It is doing neither, so I'm just gonna be patient. Let it do its thing. The safest entry would be anything below 420. That would be a safe entry for me. Okay, you know what? That actually held. I'm going to take a position there around 423, and I am going to sell some at 438. I got a fill at 436. Okay, it actually broke. Now I'm waiting to add. I want to see it hold above 430, 440 convincingly. Okay, it's struggling a little too. Okay, there we go. I want it to hold above 440. If it holds, I'll get in. You know what? It seems weak. I'm getting out. It seems super weak. That should have gone. Like in a bull market, that would have actually just gone. The good thing is it's not selling off, it's holding. So, and I'm taking, if you notice, I'm actually taking like really small positions. The reason I do that is if I'm trading in a simulator and I want to move over to real money, it makes sense to trade with realistic smaller sizes, because with the simulator you cannot simulate things like slippage or bad fills that can only happen with real money when you take big position sizes. So to minimize that effect, if you take smaller position sizes which are reasonable, there's a higher likelihood that you will do better when you switch over from the simulator to real money. You can always go back and increase your share size as you get more practice, and you start trading with real money and you have been consistently profitable over a period of time. You can start taking bigger positions. So we had lost $44. Now we probably made about $55. So we are net up about $9. So if I go back to the metrics, I can just refresh this page and you will see that. Just a second. I think it takes a second for it to refresh. If I go here, you'll see that I have 3 trades in total, and my P&L went down, and then it came up to about $9. So you will see these are the 2 stocks I traded. So with NUWE, volume, in terms of the volume, I gave STAK more volume. I traded with more shares. I traded with less shares in NUWE. In terms of the trades, I did 2 trades for NUWE and just 1 trade for STAK. And then in terms of the realized P&L, I made about 55% over here. I gave back about 45% over here. So you have your breakdowns in terms of all the stocks that you trade. And for NUWE, if I can click on the chart, you will see the places where I actually bought, where I sold, and then where I bought, where I sold, right? And you can select between multiple time zones here as well. So you can get a breakdown of what your entries were on what charts, and you also have all your indicators over here, so you can see if you actually bought from a support and if you actually sold into a resistance. Let's go back to the chart, and I see it's still stuck around 450-ish, 448. What I like about this chart though is it hasn't sold off. It's not moving higher, but it hasn't sold off. It's just trading in this channel if you look at it. So I can draw a channel. So, for drawing the channel, I'll take this. I'll say a price parallel channel. I can draw this like this. And then I can draw this channel over here. So the good thing about this chart and these indicators is you draw it on one particular chart. It is going to plot on all of the charts that are linked to that particular symbol. So right now you can see, as long as it's within the channel, it's safe to kind of take the dips and sell it at the pops. So it's not a lot. I would say about 10-15 cents, but if you're trading with 1,000 shares, 10-15 cents is about $100 to $150, right? It's for small account, it's still good money. So now this is a fresh 5-minute candle. So you can see it is holding the channel really, really well. So let's try and see if we can get some good, decent dips. I would be interested around 432, but I want this 5-minute candle, the first 1 minute of the 5-minute candle, to find its low, like find out where it wants to close at the bottom, like find its bottom, because sometimes they tend to flush. Now let's see. I generally don't draw trend lines this close. I don't. This was just to explain that, it is flowing in a channel for sure, but it's a very tight channel. The channels generally that I draw would be a little more bigger. It makes sense for a channel to be a little bigger, so there's money to be made. With the 10-cent channel, there isn't a lot that the trader is making out of it. But this is actually a good dip point. Anything below 430, like 427, 428 is actually a good spot to be buying for a 5-cent jump, I would say. Too bad it did not bounce up, but let's see. I'm at 428, and okay, that's not a good sign. I am going to sell it at 428. I did not have a lot of shares, just 350 shares, but still, there was no point holding it anymore. Let's see, CAPR has suddenly gone up. So this is a reversal trade. So you can see from it went from 237 all the way to $3. That's still a lot of, if you take 1,000 shares, that's almost like $700. And for 1,000 shares at 237, you make, let's say 1,000 shares you purchase at 237. You spend $2,300, make about 700. You might not catch the whole move. You might probably get about 40 cents out of it. So it's still a lot of money. So let's see, this particular bounce happened at 7:11:39. So 7:11, 7:10, 7:39. So you probably would have been notified around 290. So, because it did not have a lot of volume on this, because it was falling pretty bad, and then the volume started picking up over here. So you could have probably made about 20 cents on this, I'd say, realistically. But it's a brutal drop. I mean, this is a 48 million share float. And let's see, just to inquire, it's got some news about 3 hours back, and looks like it's a bearish news. NUWE still holding the same levels. And since it has broken this trend line, it's no longer relevant, so let's delete this. And yeah, so these are your drawing widgets that allow you to draw different kinds of, metrics and lines and symbols. And so if any of you is interested in practicing, you can always, sign up. This is completely free for the first 1 month, and you get the whole desk, including the scanners. You get the simulator, you get the journal, and you get the replay, and then all the charts and everything that come with it, and all these indicators. So in terms of the indicators, you have a rich library of all the indicators that you can add. This has been tailor-made for the small cap momentum trading style. So if you're interested, give it a shot. Sign up today. For 30 days, absolutely free. You don't have to give any of your payment details, nothing. And you know what? Right now, the market seems very, very slow. So what I'll do is on the replay, I can actually see. Let's go to 7:35, 7:30. So I'm switching to 7:30 in terms of how the market was. I still have my trades that I've taken intact. You can see my closed positions over here, and you can see all the trades I've taken over here, and any working orders or orders which haven't been fulfilled will be shown here. And the open positions are here. Right now I have no open positions. So looks like we pretty much got out of NUWE because it did nothing, and it has done nothing for the next 30 minutes, right? Now CAPR, so this stock pretty much moved up to about $2.80 and has been holding that level. And EBX, not interested. So the thing I'm looking for me to enter a momentum trade is to look for this trades per second to go high. And I want to see a lightning. What a lightning is a really fast percentage move or a rocket. You will see some symbols show up with those. Like over here, you have a lightning. So this stock went up really fast. I believe this is where it went from $2.30 to $3.11. And then you have MGRX, which had a lightning move. I'm trying to see if I can show you a rocket. So the market has been genuinely super slow at the end of July. So maybe I should have picked a different day. Okay, you see a rocket over here for the GMEX. So this was early on in the morning. Let's see what GMEX did early on in the morning. There we go. So early on in the morning, GMEX at 4:35, was making some pretty good moves. So yeah. Anyhow, let's come back to the current. PGY, really high dollars, not interested. This looks like it's a brutal drop. Wow, this thing went from $20 to $2 in a matter of 3 days. Holy smokes. Imagine you're holding 1,000 shares at $20, or, a few weeks back, somewhere in the end of June, this was about $30 a share. So imagine holding 1,000 shares of $30, that $30,000. And then in a month, those $30,000 are worth like $2,500. Insane. So this is why I don't really like to invest in these mid cap sector stocks and hold them. And even with small caps, mid caps, you unless you know the story is really good and there is momentum, there is no point holding those stocks. This is, I would say, a medium mid cap size stock because it's 48 million share float. The stocks we are interested in trading are generally less than 20 million share float, ideally less than 5 million share float. And in the price category, price bands, I generally tend to stick with stocks which are less than, $10 ideally. I would trade them up until $20, but that would be the max. And after that, my position sizing on them is really, really small. So BIA has been climbing up. It went from $6 to $6.44, $6.71 over here. But the problem is it does not have a lot of volume. So I see about, not a big fan. So it's traded about 200,000 shares of volume, as you can see. It's super risky. So I don't want to be like, getting into a trade into BIA. So you might be wondering, hey, it's just a replay simulator. But then the whole point of having a replay or a simulator trading is to trade like you're trading with real money, right? So the first trade which I took where I lost $40, I would not have taken the trade. That was only to show you that the trades that you take, you can go back and refer to them in the journal. It'll show you where you actually got in. It'll show you the metrics in terms of how much money was allocated, how much shares were allocated to that particular move. So all those details. Now CAPR. So this again went from $2.81. So you see as it is climbing up, you will see the streak keep climbing. So it has a 10x streak. Although it hasn't made a very big move, it's just the fact that it hasn't pulled back yet. It's climbing. But then what I'm looking for is the number of trades. Let's see, NUWE, it has a higher number of trades, around 36, but it is on the downward side. Not really a big fan of it. So if a stock has gone up like this and then come back, the best time to enter is to wait for it to first make a 5-minute candle over candle. So that'll be the first time I would even consider trading a stock that is on the backside, where at least it shows some strength on the 5-minute chart. Until that happens, that stock is a big no-no for me. Let's see. Also on the stock info panel, you have the country, you have the exchange at which a stock trades. Now, in your real-time market simulator trading, you'd be asking, how do I trade that? So you just come in onto the main screen. You can individually bring up the scanners, but then we also have this trading desk. You click on this, and this is going to pretty much bring you what the market is showing on that particular day. So since we are on the weekend, you don't see anything on the apex attention because it's the weekend. And this is what the snapshot of the stock market was at the market close time. So if you look at the dates over here, so you'll see it as 2026-0807, which was the Friday when the stock market closed. Right, and these were some of the after-hour gainers. You had ZJYL, which basically went from $2.30 to $4.76, which is about a 100% move, which was a good move. But then realistically, which part of the move could you have traded? You could have traded starting here, I'd say. Like, the initial first, so let the stock establish itself. So you'd have missed from 245 to 275. And then from 275, you could have started trading it. And it was a pretty clean move up until 4. So almost for like $1.50. So you had a very clean move. And how do you know this is not the replay? You don't have the little pill at the bottom, which is a replay. And with, this is like a trading desk. The idea was to give people a desk which is close to a desktop view of where you could, move things. You can arrange your panels. Like for example, I could take this, move it here, and it'll show up here. I could move it here. I could split it. It'll show up here. I can then be like, you know what, I don't want it here. I can take it out, and it's pretty much gonna come out. And if it was a replay, this will also have a pill at the bottom. So let me close this. I can add back the same panel. I can go here to the scanners. I can be like after hours losers, and it'll get added over here. I want to move it over here. I can move it like this. I can move it back over here. It'll, stack. So you can have multiple panels stacked, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to navigate to and take a look at. Now you see on NUWE, it is making first candle. The one thing I like about this is the selling volume has dropped, and there has been some buying volume, but for me to get in, it has to first break 4.21 and hold. Let's see, DFNS is on the move. So this is an insane stock, right? So this started at around $3 about 5 days back, and within 5 days, it's at $100. Insane move. It's almost like, with starting from $3, so that's about a 3,000% move over there, which is insane. And so let's see, CAPR is still doing the same antics where it sold off and is doing the dead cat bounce. So let's just be patient. Looks like there is nothing even at 7:30. So you know what? Let me move this to, and we can check what was happening at around 8. So this was Thursday, July the 30th at 8 a.m. So this is what was happening in the market. So there was still NUME, which is still holding this level, not letting go of it. But then nothing really has moved, right? So looks like a super, super slow day. And, when a lot of people take subscription to the simulator, the problem with it is you might come up on a day which is super slow. You might be looking to trade and practice, but you will not find anything. But with the replay, you have control over what kind of day you want to trade. Let's see. Let's start at 8:30. Let's see if there is something that is actually moving at 8:30. So we see that NUWE has started moving at around 8:31. Right, so it is on the move. So let me bring this back at around 8:28. Let's see if we can, get into NUWE. I will change the time to 8:30. 8:27 is fine. Let's see. At this point, we had PN, which was moving up, right? PN had, quite a spectacular move, almost this move of 60%. And then you had NUWE. So basically, it has come out with some news about 27 minutes ago. It made the first initial move, and then it stopped. So acceptance by Frontiers Pediatrics of new single center. So it says it's a neutral, but the market is reacting bullish to it. Let's see. So this is a sudden sell-off. The fact that it is close to the 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart, and every time it has dropped down below the 20 EMA, I would be inclined to buy this and sell this back into the pop at around 425-ish. So that's about a 10-cent gain per share, but still on 1,000 shares, it's $100. I'm not looking to, get in and catch a crazy move. My idea is to not eat, I have this famous saying where I'm not trying to eat the whole pie, but maybe a slice of the pie. So keep eating slices of the pie again and again enough times, and you eat multiple pies worth of pie. So that's the idea. Take like little slivers, scalp here, scalp there, and then make the money. So let's see. So we have a few stocks with some news, and CYCU is something that is moving. I like the fact that it is holding this level, but then I'd be interested if it breaks 0.4. But it's super cheap. This stock is super, super cheap. I mean, it's still about 40 cents. I don't trade any penny stocks below 30 cents. The only time I'm comfortable trading penny stocks is if they're above 50 cents. The reason for that is I trade based on the dollar size. And, if I show you my hotkeys, let me close the live trading desk. So the hotkeys is within the simulator section. So if you click on manage hotkeys over here, it'll open up a panel, and here you can set all kinds of hotkeys. So now I have a bunch of default hotkeys that I've set up, and these would be the default hotkeys that everyone will have. They use a combination of Alt and Control along with the numpad keys from 1 to 9. So the way I set them up is I set them up with a dollar amount, but you are free to have them set to number of shares or a percentage of your buying power. For me, I've set it to a percentage, a flat dollar amount. The first buy hotkey is going to purchase $1,500 worth of it. The second one is going to purchase $3,000 worth of it. And the fourth one is going to purchase $4,500 worth of it. Now, I also have offsets, and you can set your own offsets over here. While buying, I have my offset set about the ask with 5 cents. While selling, I also have an offset based on the bid, because there have been stocks where the gap between the bid and the ask is so high that, and if it is dipping, I try to catch it at the bid level, and I want to give only 3 cents offset over the bid, so that way my order gets a preference and I get filled during a flush. When I'm selling, I have sell it at for the profits, where I'm trying to unwind a position in profit. I also have sell and get out hotkeys. So these I would be selling at the bid and minus 10 cents. The idea is if I want to get out of a trade, I want to get out fast. But also I might be sizing down and repositioning myself. So I might sell about 33% in one go, and then I might sell 50% in another. And then I also have a hotkey to sell my 100% position in one go, because sometimes I just want to get out of a trade, right? Now let's see. NUWE, so we see nothing is still moving. CAPR. So it went from $3 to $3.20. But the problem is, it's really on the backside of the move. For some people who might be interested in catching the jumps, it's a decent trade, but not for me. So the apex attention is showing you the number of trades that is happening, and you can see the stock is selling off. There is attention, but the stock is selling off. Okay, something is happening to NUWE. So if it crosses 4.5, I would be interested in it. I wanted to break 4.5 and hold it. But I like the whole, overall pattern. There's the cup, and then there's the handle. So a lot of traders are going to see it. There we go. Right? We jump to 475. I'm trying to take a dip over here. You know what? It's not dipping. I'm going to take a position at around 464. Okay, it's going higher. I'm going to add to that. So I have position. Okay, I'm going to sell half, and then I'm going to buy a little more for the break to 5. I wanted to dip to 480 to buy a little more. I have my average at 478. I'm going to sell a few more at 495. I have my profit hotkey. I'm going to sell half there, and I'm going to buy again my position, and then I'm going to sell there, and I will buy again if it dips. I'm going to sell some more there. Sell some more there. Okay, it is holding. We still have 2 minutes on the 5-minute candle, which is a good thing. Oh, look at this jump. Look at that jump. That's an insane jump. Okay, I'm all out of the position. So I will be interested in buying at around $5.20. But the problem is it's really extended on the 1-minute chart, and on the 5-minute chart, that was an insane, almost $1.30 jump. So it looks like it is holding 540, which is a good sign. But I'm still looking for it to kind of sell off a little, come down so I can catch a bounce, right? Wow, that's some crazy price action going on there. I mean, the market was almost dead in the morning, and then all of a sudden at around 8:31, 8:32, boom. So this is the kind of stock you'd be trading with small cap momentum for those of you who are not aware of this. So the reason this works this way is because these are tiny floats, and and they don't have a lot of people who can take short positions, or these high frequency trading algorithms. They just keep away because the market cap is so little. There isn't much money for them to be made over here. So this is where small cap traders, you can consistently judge if the stock is going to go up by 30 cents, 20 cents, and you can fairly convincingly with a good accuracy predict that next 20 cent, 30 cent move. So if you can see, I have been trading with super small sizes. I did not take big sizes. And the other thing is, I'm not trying to like hold for this big home runs. I try to scalp where I can and take my little profit. And that's the only way you can be profitable. If there is someone who is hoping to, hold on and make a big home run, that is how traders end up losing money. So if you have been around trading for any period of time, you'd have heard this saying: bulls make money, bears make money, but the pigs lose. So in the context of trading, pigs are people who are greedy, like people who believe that they're going to catch the whole $20 move, $30 move, $3, $4 moves. So they are the pigs, and typically they tend to lose money because they get greedy. But trading, you got to be nimble. It's like, you see yourself in a disadvantageous position, get out, reposition, get back in multiple times, especially with the whole minimum day trade rule, where the account size has been removed from $25,000 to $2,000. So you can position and reposition into trades multiple times. Now, so this is setting up for a nice bull flag. So that did break the next 1 minute high. A lot of people would be entering there. That would have been a really good entry, right? That would have been a really good entry. Okay, I'm entering at 5:30. Let's see, I'm at 5:30. I'm planning to sell it at 5:45. You know what? It's struggling a little too much for my liking. I'm going to get out of there. This is what I meant by being nimble. If it is struggling really bad, I would rather get out than hold the position and pray that it recovers. I probably lost money in that particular trade. But then imagine if you got back in at 570, it struggled a little, and you didn't sell it, and you had, let's say, 2,000 shares. It comes all the way to 510. So that's about a 60-cent drop. With 2,000 shares, a 60-cent drop, you're down $1,200, right? So you have to be nimble. You have to see. So the problem with this is a false breakout. I tried to break on the 5-minute chart, but it flushed back down. So now for this chart to get strong, it has to either recover the 593 on high volume. But here's the thing, right? So on this chart, so this 1 minute candle is a fairly high volume 1 minute red candle, but you have other 1 minute candles which are more volume than that. So I wouldn't count this out yet, but this drop from 570 to 503 in 20 seconds was quite brutal. So let's see. NUWE is the one on the move, and you also have PN. PN has been slowly but steadily moving. So it went from $15 to about $18 over here, which is a $3 move, and nothing to be joking about. But what I don't like about it is the spread. I mean, it's not bad. It's about 15 cents. For me, the problem is, one, the price is a little too high, and the other thing is also the spread. And there is also NUWE, which a lot of traders are watching, so the attention is divided. If NUWE was not in play and the only stock we had was PN, I would probably be inclined to take a look at PN. But right now, since NUWE is in play, I don't really want to even take a look at PN. CAPR is the same one. Now, in terms of the positions, I like the fact that it is trying to like curl, but I'd only be comfortable if there is a 1 minute candle with a volume greater than 2 million, which was the close of this. Let's go to the. So if you go to the journal, we can see all the trades over here. And you can see in terms of the breakdown of how much money we made and how much we lost. You will see all those breakdowns. You will see all the trades we have taken and how much money we made per trade. So here we made $3, we made $47, we made 0, we made 206, we made 19. So all the trades, all the times you sold, bought, so all the metrics are available over here. So you also have something called as an AI coach, but this is something which is only available during your live trading days with a simulator where you're trading on that particular day live. For a replay, you pretty much get the breakdown of your trades, where you entered, where you sold, all those details. Like if you see on NUWE, I bought in multiple times on the way up, sold it over here, sold the rest over here, and then I bought over here, sold it over here, sold it over here. And then I did not take this trade because it's in the future. As far as the replay, in the replay, we are concerned, we are still over here, right? So I'd say when you're doing the replay, don't really go and look at your stats until you have finished the replay for the day, on that particular day or that particular session that you're playing the replay for. Finish it, then go look at your stats. They would make more sense. All right, so PN is moving on. It's like chugging along. Like it's not spectacular, but hey, it's moving. Like anybody would be lucky to get in at $11 and sell all the way at around 1850, but that is not how stocks move. So you can actually see from the 1 minute chart, there was hardly any trading happening up until the stock came to close to $14-15. So the only place where you could have reasonably gotten in and gotten out is about maybe $16. And even then, if you got in here and then you're hoping and holding till 1781, there was a pretty high volume selling which went on over here. And then it came all the way back to 15, and then it went all the way back high. And if you look at this, right, so that move probably, it's a gradual move. I would say you could have traded this whole stretch because it was a gradual move. But sometimes what you will see is stocks in one 10-second candle would go from 15 to 19. You're not going to catch that move. That was either an algo taking a position or a big trader like pushing and taking a position. You're not going to get filled between that. Let's look at NUWE. I like the fact that it's still holding, but the problem I see is the range is 20 cents between the high of this 1 minute to the low of this 1 minute. And it has a lot of volume. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you look at the volume, 2 million volume, 2 million volume, 500, 700,000 volume, and yet it only moves 10 cents. Yeah, this is what we call sometimes the thickly traded stocks where bids and asks are stacked. So I don't think we can make more money out of this convincingly. We could probably catch a few dips here and there and sell them in the pops for like a few 7-8 cents scalp. But yeah, these are stocks where they would be super frustrating to trade. So let's be patient. You know what? It's almost 8:43 on the replay clock. Let's go and see the market open. So this is what the market looked like at 9:25 in the morning. You can see NUWE pretty much stuck where it was. PN on the other hand has moved higher, broke 20, then came back, pulled back, and then is again trying to hold $20. Apart from that, we don't really have any action in the market today. It seems like a super slow day. Let's go a little ahead and let's see the market open 9:31. Let's see what's actually moving. So PN is selling off aggressively at the market open. So the market open, the apex gainers basically goes off because, at this point of time, everything is being tracked in the market. Let's go to NUWE. Wow, NUWE had some pretty crazy moves to the top. So you can see the halt up band is 684. We are at 622. So this would come in the gap and go strategy because it has gapped above with, at the pre-market high. So as long as it holds, 5.96, so we have a really good chance, 5.93, of it continuing to go higher. Well, let's see. Okay, so that dipped below 5.95 and immediately recovered. I don't know. I don't really like the stock because every time it goes up, there's a big seller that just pushes it down. And yeah, it is up about 220%, but then, the moves haven't been that phenomenal, I'd say. Okay, that was a nice dip for anybody who caught around the 560s. Typically, you will see within the first 5 minutes of the market open, you will see some stock, halting. We haven't seen any stock halt. Like that's how slow the market was on this particular day. That was a good recovery from the 9 EMA on the 1 minute back to the highs, and then it's trying to like dip back again. I personally don't trade the first 10 minutes of the market. I just want the market to kind of, decide which stock it wants to focus on. I don't want to be, caught in the melee of people just trying to buy and sell during the initial first 5-10 minutes of the market open. The first time I'd actually be interested in buying. So 4.61 is where the hold down is. Wow, even the bounce, it went from 5.33 to 5.45. Even the bounce is 10 cents. There isn't a lot to be made, but the drop, it went from 6.1 all the way to 5.3. Yeah, it should have bounced there. If it is not bouncing, it is going to hold down. 4.61 is the hold down. Good thing though is we have a lot of supports. We have the VWAP at around 520, and also we have the 9 minute 5 minute 9 EMA at around 516, 510. So 510, 520 is actually a really solid support for the stock. So I'd be interested in getting it around 515, 520. Wow, nothing seems to be moving, huh? Lung, nothing. Like somebody is buying 112,000 shares of it. I don't know why, but that's all there is to it. SPRC went from $9 to 11.19. Man, really, really slow day, huh? You know what? Let me close off the replay because I gotta go out and get some stuff done. I was hoping the replay day would have had a little more action than what we are seeing. FFEI, insane. Like the total volume traded is about 80,000. And on a $5-6 stock, the difference between the bid and the ask was almost like 30 cents, which is insane. I have a feeling NUWE is going to squeeze out the shots. It's a USA company. Generally, the Chinese companies are the ones which are known to do that. You never know. But yeah, I'm going to close it and call it a day, guys. But then if you do want to, trade the market, learn how to trade the small caps, and you don't really have the time on the weekdays to, trade along with the actual market hours, you can always use the replay functionality and open the market the exact same way it would have been on that particular day at that particular time. You could trade a particular stock, or you could just open the whole market and see if you can trade and practice where you're profitable, and then check your metrics inside the simulator journal, the replay journal from the Apex scanner, see if you're profitable, and only when you're profitable, let's say for 3 months, should you even consider using real money. And like before, if you go to our plans, the first 30 days are completely free, right? So let me sign out of here. So when you come to this particular page, you'll probably go to the start free trial, and you will see all the options available that you can get the membership for. So for the first 30 days, you don't have to give any credit card, debit card, or any of your bank account, any personal identifier that is going to link to your money. And the only thing we'll need is your name, your email, and a password, and you're good to go. Once you confirm your email, you can come here and you can log in with your email and password that you've given. And then you'll have access to the whole desk. You can open trading desk to do the live market simulator trading, or just use this, the Apex attention, the Apex acceleration, Apex gainers, and all the widgets to help you with your pre-market momentum trading with live money in your own broker account. Or if you want to practice, you can use the simulator order entry panel along with the hotkeys and your time and sales to get into positions, get out of positions, see if you're profitable. You can go into the journal. And then over here, as you take more trades, the data gets populated on each of the day. You will be able to see how many trades you've taken each week, how much money you've made in those trades. You will have your P&L charts. Let's say, for example, if I go to the previous month, I have 3 trades over here. So this is where, you take a particular trade, and you can have, the EAI coach review your results, and it is going to tell you what mistakes you did, what you did well, and pretty much give you an understanding of the mistakes that you're making using EI inference to come to conclusions. And then you'll have your breakdown in terms of the stocks you've traded, what time your positions you took, and based on the time frame, you can see whether you took a position at the top post, if you took a position at the support, if you made any mistakes, all those kind of things. And then you'll also have a breakdown of the trades that actually made you money, cost you money, those kind of things. Yeah, that's pretty much the summary of the day. And if you want to sign up, the link is apexscanner.io, and you can sign in, sign up with just your email ID and password. And for the first 30 days, with no other information but your email, you'll be able to access the whole desk for free. After 30 days, you can choose based on the preference, also based on how much money you want to spend on these tools. So that is up to you. All right, guys, it was a pleasure streaming and talking to you guys today. Hopefully, I'll try to stream in the mornings more often with the live simulator with live market, and not just the replays. And then also trade with the replays during the evenings. And starting, soon we'll have quizzes in the form of, whether stock goes up, whether stock is going to come down, which would be closer to prediction in the form of shorts. So keep tuned. Thank you so much. Goodbye.